Hey everyone, this is Will here with Flow Trade FX. I'm bringing you guys a new video. This is an update on my most recent video that I uploaded, which was the results of me exceeding my maximum loss and violating one of the rules for my managed account with FTMO. And since I did violate one of the rules, I was disqualified from managing their account at that moment. But that doesn't mean that I can't manage future accounts with them. It just means that that account, I couldn't manage it anymore, but I still was able to generate profits with them within the week or 2 weeks that I was managing their account. And this is just a result of that. So I'll go into where this $5,111 comes from and how I was able to generate that necessary like within that week. Still, even though I lost money, and then yeah, I'll get into the process just briefly about how I had to get my invoice, pretty much how I had to build a company and fill out a little profile online to be able to accept my money from them, and just kind of give you guys the rundown on how that process went. It was actually really simple. Definitely nothing that was too complicated, and the whole process overall just took 4 days from when I invoiced them to when I actually received money in my bank account. And I'll explain exactly why it took 4 days also. So let's get into where this 500 or $5,011 $111 comes from. And I'm gonna just minimize this off my screen here. So as you guys can tell here on my screen behind me, I have a little message here that says the profit split was fully processed and the payment was sent to you on the 18th of July 2022. And if you need to download your invoice, visit FTMO Traders Payout section. So this is just indicating to me that for this account specifically, I was paid out and it was processed on the 18th of July. My profit split date specifically for this account was on the 15th of July, and the date I got disqualified from this account was the 11th. So all in all, I had about 10 or so, maybe 11 trading days total. So in that 11 trading days, we were able to, I'm going to go ahead and scroll up back to the top here so we can see the results, starting from the first day of my trading, which was on the 30th of June, I believe. Yeah, so 30th of June was the first day I started trading with their managed account. And then I traded with it. These are the amounts of trades that I took throughout that time. And then by the 11th of June, which is the day that I actually got disqualified, I was up roughly $20,176. And that was all generated within just about 10 days. And as you can see, my bell curve was relatively straight up. I never really dipped down, except for when I got past the initial $5,000. Once I had broke through that $5,000 initially, that's when it was pretty much straight up. Once I got through 5,000, it was actually like the biggest challenge getting from like 5 to 10. But once I got from 5 to 10, it was pretty much like I bobbled around there. I lost some money, made some money, and then ultimately once I got to five or got back close to five, I was actually at seven before I started making some some real profits, and that was in the last couple of days of the week. So this happened from, let me see here, the 7th through the 11th was actually when I started generating like a significant amount of profits. So within that 3 days, I probably generated another $10,000. And then that's where things started to get tricky. When I started looking from 20,000 to try to go from 20,000 maybe to 25,000 or more, I think things started getting a little interesting. Um, just noticing that the numbers started moving a little bit differently, and also realizing how close I was to my profit split day. I started realizing like I didn't realize like I didn't have to trade as much because I already generated so much. But my focus was really just on trading and just being as profitable as possible, as opposed to just being as disciplined as possible. And that's kind of where I lost it. And as you can see here, very clearly, I went on a losing streak and then I actually dropped back down to around $6,000 before the bleeding really stopped. And thankfully, it stopped there because I was able to still secure that $6,000 within that week, even though I wasn't able to trade until the final days of my profit split. So I did have some active trades that did move in my favor, which would have brought my, profit or account size back up. And as you can see, that's what happens a lot here. I usually go through these little drawdowns, which are small and considered to the you know amount of like profits that we end up generating. And as you can see here, there's a let me see a couple other statistics that mention average profit, the average expectancy, and things of that nature. Um, all these are helpful, and I went over them in a previous video. I'm not really going to generate like too much from that at this moment or in this video specifically. But as you can see, most of my days were relatively profitable until this final day here. And this was actually the day that I took almost my most trades. Actually, no, took the most trades here on the 6th. But I did take a considerable amount of lots that day, and things just didn't work out as well as I thought, as you can tell. But at the end of the day, you can't really complain because we're still able to generate a good $6,000. And once we take off their 20%, that ends up being $5,111 that we had gotten initially here. So that's pretty much it for this video, y'all. Um, as far as the whole like process, as far as invoicing them, um, I had to fill out maybe a few of my personal details. I gave them some of my account numbers and routing details, and then I billed them. Like I had to write them like an invoice, which was interesting. I've never had to like do that before, but ultimately it was relatively simple. And like I mentioned, the whole process took about 4 days from Friday to Monday, but it was only because it was the weekend. If you had a profit split day on Monday, for example, and you had done your paperwork on Monday, you would have probably received your payment by like Tuesday night or maybe even like Wednesday morning. But that's just kind of how I'm seeing it because they do take 24 hours to actually process and validate all of your trades to make sure they were legitimate. And yeah, I did have one glitch as far as like the whole process, like the tab where I was supposed to go to the invoice wasn't actually appearing on my like my client area, my main like little screen that they have for you. And I had to contact the support and they were able to send me a link and I was still able to go through the process. But that was just one little thing that I found was weird. But I think it could have just been on me. Maybe my, you know, something wasn't loading properly. But at any rate, we were able to fix it out. And their support, their live chat is actually very helpful. They will reach out to you very fast and help you solve any issues that you have. So let me see, that was that. What else did I want to mention about this video? Um, oh yeah, as far as like my involvement with FTMO, I do plan to continue to trade with them. I don't have their managed account at the moment, so I'd have to go through the process all over again and look to secure another one of their managed accounts. I do still think that the max allotment of I think 400K would be pretty mind blowing to manage at one time, especially. So that is still a goal of mine. I mean, I'll keep you guys updated in my process as far as how it's all going to go down. But as of right now, just wanted to yeah, just add those little final details about that account, what happened with it, how the FTMO process goes. They're actually very legitimate and they do good business. If you are a good trader and you have a legit system that you can use and it's profitable, I would highly suggest to test out yourself, test out your skills, make sure you have the discipline. And once you do and you're sure and you have some money set aside, then go for it, bro. Like, or like whoever you are, like go for it and like really put that time in because it's worth it. And if you're able to generate some significant profits, like they're giving you 80% of that. And if you do that consecutively over like 4 profit splits, which is really only a month, they actually increase it to 90%, and they give you more capital to trade with without qualifying for it, like without taking another challenge for it. So like it's pretty legit, and they're there for good traders because they're only gonna grow like when good traders grow also. So I think it's worthy. Um, I definitely had, like I mentioned in my last video, work on my discipline. And I was definitely taking my time off over this last week to really nut and bolt down some of the things that was giving me complications. Also, just realizing like having an opportunity to make like you know real profits like this is was mind blowing to me. So it didn't really feel real to me until like just recently, but it was definitely you know pretty awesome just generating that kind of profit in a week, and then noticing like the leverage and power of like a managed or like funded account. It's like it's crazy. Like it's actually crazy. Like I told you, like I only put down $1,000, like 1,100 bucks total, and I got paid back $6,000, like over $6,000. I got put down $1,100. And if you guys are paying attention, I did put down another 500 because I took the $100,000 challenge initially, and I failed that. And that's why I took the $200,000 challenge, because I knew I was on the road to still securing that $400,000 account. But things happen. All in all, on that process, I was able to still make back my lost money and was refunded my fee for this like whole challenge that I took, and then we're able to generate some profits with that as well. So obviously, the smart thing would be to reinvest and then do the process all over, and that's what we're all about here. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. That's pretty much the end of this video. You guys stay positive, stay healthy, stay profitable, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.